of my left arm whatsoever.
How, how did how did you feel after being told by the specialist you were going to see that you had no hope, that they could fuse you so you can at least just be stuck there? How did you feel?
I felt totally lost and hopeless. I was a young married man. I had a son, 1 year of age. My wife was 8 months pregnant, and it wasn't a good feeling to know that you're going to go through life and not be able to hug your kids with two arms.
And when did you begin treatment with the upper cervical care?
So it was 3 or 4 months after the accident. I still had no use of my left arm, and within about 6 weeks of upper cervical care, I started getting movement and feeling and slight use of my left arm. The recovery was very, very slow, and it did take time, but you can see that I'm fully recovered and able to do the things that I wish that I could do. And one of those things was being able to hug my kids with both arms, and I would have been happy with that, but my results have far surpassed my expectations or any of my doctor's expectations.
Hi, I'm sitting here with Dr. Hall. Hey, Dr. Hall. I was just speaking with one of your patients, John Dowd, or one of Dr. Kuhn's patients, John Dowd, and he was referring to a couple of his friends that he had referred in here that weren't able to get pregnant. They'd spent like $50,000 to $60,000 on all the different types of scientific methods of getting a couple pregnant, and he said he referred them in for upper cervical care, and then they were able to, 6 months later, have a baby.
Well, Scott, in healthcare there's two main philosophical models, okay, and I just want to explain both of them to maybe give some background to this. There's the mechanistic model, which is the medical model, okay, that's what we've all grown up under. That model says that we're a bunch of chemistry, that our body, the way that it functions, a bunch of chemicals run into each other, they cause chemical reactions, and that kind of chain continues in the body. There's also the vitalistic model, okay, and the vitalistic model subscribes to that there's some sort of healing system within the individual, okay, and in upper cervical care we call that wisdom innate intelligence, okay, so all body function as far as we're concerned is governed by an internal wisdom in the body. And Gray's Anatomy says that the purpose of the brain and nerve system is to control and coordinate every function in your body. So what this means is, if the brain is able to send messages down through the nervous system out to all of your body tissue, then your body is going to work the way that it should, if that communication system is open and clear. However, if an individual has been in some sort of trauma, whether it's a car accident, they've been dropped on their head, a motorcycle accident, some sort of trauma like that can cause the top bone to slip out of position, get locked underneath the skull. Okay, when this happens, it literally interferes with that communication system. So in the case of someone who's unable to conceive, there's a possibility that this upper neck is out of position, it's interfering with the normal control of body function in the body, and in that person's particular case, they weren't able to conceive. Every person's going to be affected a little bit differently. One person, their interference in the upper neck may result in headaches. Another person, it may be depression, sleeping problems. Okay, everybody's a little bit different. There's even individuals out there that are carrying nerve pressure in the upper neck who have no symptoms yet.
Something that I, discovered myself in my own research on a couple of upper cervical websites. Can't this happen in the birth process as well? I mean, can't children be born out of alignment and then are, diagnosed with all types of...
Yeah, most people in the public generally think that you have to be 20, 30 years old to have health problems. But young children can have health problems too. I mean, the asthma rate in children is skyrocketing. But to get back to what you had said, during the birth process, yes, the upper neck is pretty susceptible to being knocked out of alignment and locked out of position. And in many cases, although they don't use it too often anymore, forceps, where it's a difficult delivery, they put a suction on the top of the baby's head, and they use quite a bit of force to pull that baby out. Okay, and sometimes the shoulder will get stuck in the birth canal, and they have to twist the baby 180 degrees, and sometimes the only thing that's sticking out to do that is the head. And they got to crank on the head pretty hard, and those sorts of things can cause problems in the upper neck. In fact, there was some research done in a in Germany, and they found that 80% of kids born in hospitals are carrying nerve pressure at the bottom of the skull.
Hi, I'm sitting here with Maria Miller, and she has, her own testimonial to give that's incredibly interesting. Hi, Maria.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm feeling much better now.
Could you tell me, since you say you're feeling much better now, could you tell me a little bit about how you felt, I guess, or the condition
Well,
you were in before you actually got under Blair care with Dr. Hall?
Well, I had been under care for 27 years with a herniated disc. In 1990, I had surgery in my lower lumbar. I started going to doctors. I was put on all kinds of regimes. I slept on the floor for a year. I slept in traction for a year. I did everything that they wanted me to do, and nothing would work. I finally got better enough to go back to work after not being in the job market for 26 years. I went back to work. I started getting a real bad migraine that would not go away. And I came home that Friday very tired. And when I woke up Saturday, I was paralyzed from my neck down. They put me on thousands of medications, Duragesic patches for pains that had to be changed every 3 days. I had a nurse coming to the house. I had a physical therapist coming to the house. And still, for 4 months, I was in a wheelchair. When I came here to do, my ears were draining. I was walking around, like on eggshells. And when I got off that bed, that headache was gone. Like, I haven't had a headache since. And along with that headache went away. All my pills, I don't even take a Tylenol. I started feeling better about myself. I didn't feel desperate. I sit straighter, I stand straighter. I've been under care since March 14th, and I have not had a spasm in my neck, in my shoulders, in my thorax, in my lumbosacral area. My numbness in my hand has gone away.